One of two scenarios is going to take place: a natural disaster, which is exactly when it's coming. A massive natural disaster is coming, to the point of where the world will start to fight over the last remaining natural resources. World War III will begin, and it will devastate this planet. And as the war lasts 7 years, there will be no more natural resources. Hello everybody, my name is Jason Jamis. I come from the United States in the state of Wisconsin. I had a near-death experience in 2020 that profoundly changed my life. Prior to that, growing up as a little boy in the 70s, I grew up a Christian, a Catholic from my grandparents. I have 2 daughters. Both are now adults. I am a grandfather. And I had a very good life, when I think about it. But, back in the 70s, things were different. So, I went to college, got some college degrees, and when 2020 rolled around, I was married twice. 2020 came around, and then that's when I had my near-death experience. And at that moment, forever changed my life. Everything that I once thought was real and mattered didn't, and then what really didn't matter truly mattered. So, it's just one of those events that profoundly changed my life. And, just a single guy trying to get along and get my way, in this dream that we're all having. So, that's really it. It was, it was the beginning of, or middle of March of 2020, and I was at work, and we got called into a group meeting, and we started talking about this thing called COVID. And I was like, man, I'm so sick, I've been through worse, or whatever this is, I'm a man, I'm macho, nothing's gonna get me. And I didn't really pay any attention to it. But prior to that, or around that time, I started waking up with the taste of blood in my mouth. Like, I wonder if I bit my tongue or my cheek or something, but I didn't feel anything. But I'd be waking up every night with blood in my mouth. And I was beginning to be very, very tired. I didn't know what it is, but right along, commute to work, so I was up early, working a late day, coming home and none watching me. So I just figured I was tired. And then the beginning of April started. So this was April 2nd, and it started out like a normal day. Woke up, got ready for work, took a shower, normal thing. Went to work, was very, very tired through work, very tired, unusually tired. Was very happy to come home. It was beginning of springtime here in the United States where I live, so things were starting to blossom. And so sitting on the couch here in the exact same spot, turned on the TV, started to eat some dinner, and then I took a bite of food, and then I coughed up blood. Like bright red blood, and it covered my plate. And you have this profound moment where you're looking down, and then it happened again. It happened again, and I started coughing up blood just horrendous amounts of blood. And then I began to wheeze. It became very, very difficult, very labored in breathing, wheezing almost. And then panic sets in, and I realized now that something's seriously wrong, and I'm in the middle of dying. There's no doubt about it. So I frantically picked up my phone, and I'm trying to get a hold of my ex-wife, who was a nurse, an RN. And she wasn't answering, and I'm running out of breath. I cannot breathe. Blood is still coming out. And finally she answered the phone. Then by this time I was in the kitchen because I was just throwing it up into the sink. And she answered the phone, and she's like, "What do you want?" And I tried speaking to her because I was FaceTiming her, and blood spewed all over the phone. And one of the last memories I have was her saying, "Jason," very concerned, "Jason." And I said, "I don't feel good," or what I was mumbling. I said, "I'm tired, I'm going to lay down." The last thing I remember hearing her say was, "Jason, if you lie down, you're going to die." And I said, I'm tired. I can't keep, And this, I knew I was dying. There was nothing I could do about it, nothing. And then I woke up in the hospital. She must have called, clearly she had called 911, and they had gotten in here. How they did it, I have no idea. Don't remember anything about it. Remember waking up in the hospital. I had an IV in the side of my neck, right in the carotid artery. My hands and feet were strapped to the bed, so I couldn't move them more than a quarter of an inch. Stuff in my nose, tube down my throat. Now it was dark out, and there were a myriad of doctors, and this room was huge. And I was facing this way. There was a clock over there. There was a TV in the left-hand corner, but there was a huge room. I had a myriad of doctors around me. You can say, Jason, do you know who you are? Do you know where you are? Who's the all these stupid questions. And I'm like, from the moment my eyes awoke, there was a presence right where the TV was. An undeniable presence that I yearned to go to. I wanted to be there. It was comforting, and it never moved. It was just there. And I don't want to get emotional on you right now, but I couldn't stop looking at it. There was something there. There was someone there. This beautiful calmness about it, And the entire month that I was in there, that presence never moved. It never moved. And as the month progressed, I was getting better a little bit every day. And then at the end of the month, like the second, third week of the month, I had woken up, and they had taken the catheter out, the tube out, the IV out. I had lost 75 pounds. Very lethargic. I couldn't talk. Every time they would try and talk to me, when the tube was in or when it was out, I would just go like this and I would scribble something so they would know what I was trying to say. But I kept staring at the TV, and one of the nights, one of the nurses had walked in and was like, Jason, do you want me to turn the TV on? And I couldn't talk because there was a tube in my mouth. And I'm shaking my head and I'm going, no. It's like, how do I tell somebody? There's somebody standing there. There's somebody right there, They're going to think I'm nuts. And so now it's the end of the month. And there was nobody in the room. I have no idea what day it was. I couldn't tell you. But there was no one in the room. It was a beautiful late afternoon. I'd say late afternoon, maybe. Just by the what I'm guessing. But I was staring at the TV. And with all the strength I had left in me, which was not, I was laying on my back and I got up onto my elbows and I was just shaking uncontrollably, just shaking because I had no strength. And I called out to the TV and I said, no, this is the first time I've called out to God in 42 years. I left Christianity, or when I was about 7 years old. I grew up in an abusive family, right? So I just knew God didn't care about me. It was clear that He had no love for me or wanted me. So I couldn't go into church. I couldn't have a relationship with God in any form. I didn't ask Him for anything. I didn't talk to Jesus. And, now, you're dying. And what's the first thing I did? As I cried out to God. I said, I began to sob uncontrollably. And I'm begging Him not to die. I said, please, God, please don't let me die, please. I said, I love you. I said, I love Jesus. And I said, I am sorry for abandoning you, for not talking to you, for not calling on you. I said, I never stopped believing, but I abandoned you and I'm sorry, and please forgive me. Now this love that I'm feeling, this presence is still there. And then I said, please don't take my children from me. Please let me see my daughters. Please don't take them from me. Please, I love them. Please. And then it came to someone who was very dear to me, who I found out later. 4 years later, actually, was my twin flame. And I won't mention her by name, but I said, please don't take her from me. Please, I'm going to call her Lee. I said, please don't take Lee from me. Please let me hold her hand. Let me smell her breath. Let me make love to her. Let me hold her. Let me kiss her. And it was in that moment that I was instantly now at the top of the ceiling. I saw my body laying on the bed. I saw everything around me within a trillionth of a second. I saw through the wall. I saw the whole field. I saw every blade of grass. I could see the serrations in the grass. I could see the color, the liquid color in it, the most magnificent green I have ever seen. And I saw it with such clarity. Every line in the grass, every little serration. The same thing with the trees. I saw every mark in the bark. I saw all the outlines of their souls. I could feel their love for me and my love for them and how happy they were to see me. The colors that I saw, the blues, the whites, the greens, they didn't exist here. They were alive and flowing like a river through the tree, through the bark itself, through the grass itself. I could still see when I'm talking to you now, and I'm describing what I'm seeing in that direction, but I'm also seeing the wall behind me with all the tubes and airways. I'm looking at everybody dying in the ICU. I can see the nurses' stations, and someone was bent over like this. One was standing on the opposite side. I could see every patient in the room. I could feel them. I could see everything. Everything was instantly given to me in that moment. I knew everything there was to ever know was one with that light that had now encompassed me. And I knew within that trillionth of a second, because I said it before it even became a full thought, I spoke it. It was, I'm home. Not, where am I? Who is this? I said, I'm home. How would I know I'm home if I had never been? It was like putting on an old pair of shoes. And then the second thought came into my mind was, what a beautiful day to die. Like, it was something I had done trillions of times. And I'm being held in that light by my Father, by God. I was returned to oneness through being with my Father. And I don't know how long that took. I could have been 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days. I have no clue. I was young again, and all pain stopped instantly. There was no pain. It was the most incredible love I had ever experienced, and I was, for the first time in my life, at peace. So what's going to happen with it? Well, right now, we are going through a major consciousness shift. The Earth is ascending into a higher dimension, a higher form of consciousness. The Earth, well, as you know, it is alive, but I'm not talking because of the trees, the birds, the plants, and all that. The Gaia is fully conscious, aware of herself. Okay, so she is ascending into a higher dimension right now. So 2025 is going to get very weird. Alright, it's going to get very, very weird. Now, I went through an ascension process last year. Alright? I lost my job out of the blue, lost another 65 pounds. I got very sick. And I found out what that process that I was going through was my ascension process. I would wake up in the middle of the night with ungodly sweats. Like, I would try and roll over to the right, and standing water would come over the top of my stomach. I'd move to the left, standing water. And I found out what that was is my higher self, my true self, was hovering right above my body and inundating me with higher forms of light. My body was being transformed from the carbon-based body that we've been in for thousands and thousands and thousands of years to a crystalline body, which allows more high vibrational energy and light to enter our body, right? So I was going through this transformation called Looming, and meaning I'm gonna transition into the 5D. So what's gonna happen to the old Earth? Now, if all of you are stuck, not all of you, but many of you, millions, maybe even billions of you, don't want to believe what I'm talking about. You don't want to believe. You want to believe that the Bible is true. You're stuck in the materialistic world. I'm in a good house. I want the car. I want the money. I want the new pair of shoes. And the whole world is blasted with billboards. Come get this. Come. If you're wrapped up in that, you will not ascend into the new earth. You will stay here. You will die on this old earth. Well, all of us have ascended, meaning that when it's time for us to transition home, when we incarnate again, we will go to the new earth. All of you who choose not to, Father will pick a new planet, because once everybody is gone from this planet, this old earth, it'll just disappear. And Father will pick a new planet, a new materialistic, low vibration, 3D world that you will incarnate into until you get it. Right, until you believe what is going on. And then, after that incarnation, you will be able to go into the new earth. But for all those that don't want to, which is fine, we have free will, you will stay here on this old earth while we go into world peace, the golden age of earth. No fighting, no disease, nothing but love. An egalitarian society, you and I are equal in every way. There's no difference, even though there is no difference now. But in this society, we are all the same. There is no money gap. There is no income gap. There is no housing gap. We are all the same. We are all together. We are working with the most advanced technologies. Advanced. And I'm talking, when you think of a disease that's incurable, say Alzheimer's, right? It's curable. Well, nothing like common cold. It gets cured instantly. So we're working with the most advanced technologies. The earth is clean. No garbage, no waste, nothing. We are living in the golden age of earth, of prosperity, of peace, of abundance, of joy, love-making on an epic scale. A unity of consciousness that has never been experienced on this planet ever. So when I'm talking about you and me, you're looking at me as a man. I don't see you as a female. Yes, you're in a female body, but I know exactly who you are. You're not female. So we join together in a physical form, but under an egalitarian society. We're all equal, side by side. Nobody in front, nobody in back, right? And we're working with all our energy will come from the sun, advanced solar technology, which will power the entire planet, along with clean fusion. Those two sources are clean, there is no waste, and our vehicles that we're getting around are basically electromagnetic hovercraft. Kind of like Back to the Future, and it rises up, and yeah. So we're advancing. And that's what this 5D consciousness shift is really about, and it's really going to hit hard in the next couple of months. Come January, February, it's going to get deep. I'm just saying, prepare yourself for the new year. Prepare yourself for change. Big change. And you saw here in the States, Trump had to win. Not that I don't talk politics, I want to talk no politics, but that was part of the initial step of the change that needed to take place. Most people don't want to hear it, but it's exactly what needed to happen. And I told somebody earlier this summer that Trump needed to win the election. And of course it did. And now come the end of this year, be prepared for what's coming. Big changes are coming. You're gonna start to feel it within you. You might feel it. you know, but you have to be open to the fact and knowing of who you are, right? You're gonna feel a pull, you're gonna feel something that you haven't felt before. And in that tug and in that direction that you go, and I'm not just talking you. I mean, I'm following my own direction. I'm following, you know, I've started 2 businesses. They're starting to take off. You know, I'm moving out of the actual working class, and I'm going to be working from home and all of this stuff. That's really going to take off. My abundance is coming. I've got somebody had contacted me about making a film, coming into Los Angeles to do an interview and to film. So I'm going to be in some sort of production or movie. Everything's taking off for me, right? So, but that has been coming through my manifestations, through my meditations, you know. So, but be prepared for a feeling that you haven't felt before, a pull, a tug. Something is going to pull you in a direction that you're not used to being, or something you're going to feel deep within you. It may separate you from your family and friends. They may think you're nuts. They may not want you. That's okay. You're not meant to be there. You're meant to ascend. You're meant to move in that direction. So things that may once have been prominent in your life are going to drop off and mean absolutely nothing to you anymore. You're going to be going in a direction that you never thought you would be going into, right? And that's okay, right? That's okay. That's your guidance. That's your higher self leading you to where you need to be. And you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. You may, I don't know if you're married, have children, you may even lose your children. And that's okay. Remember who you are. Your children are not yours. They are also a God. They came here to work on themselves. They just chose you as mom and dad because they love you. They needed you to grow up in that environment. But they're working on themselves, just like you're working on yourself. And I've been working on myself since my discovery of who I am. I've found out who I am. I rediscovered who I am. I'm not Jason Janice. That is completely and totally superficial. I am not a male. I've never been a male. And I know what I am. So you're going to feel those tugs. You're going to start to feel different, going in those directions that you never thought you would. And that's what I mean by things will get crazy. You're seeing the weather patterns go nuts all over the place, right? And I know in Asia where you're from, they're having massive rains and all these things and all the, not typhoons, but the tsunamis coming in and the devastation that's taking place. It's happening here in the States with the hurricanes and stuff like that. And the tornadoes that we had just devastated, wiped towns off the map this summer. Wiped them right off the map. Gone. Okay, things are changing rapidly. You're going to see it intensify. And you have to be open to that change. It's coming whether you want it to or not. And like I've said before in other videos, in my own channel, you know, World War III is coming. Okay? It's going to wipe us off the map if we don't change, if we don't begin to love. In about 9 years now, about 9 years, World War III will start, and it will start in the East. Okay? One of 2 scenarios is going to take place, a natural disaster, which is exactly when it's coming. A massive natural disaster is coming, to the point of where the world will start to fight over the last remaining natural resources. World War III will begin, and it will devastate this planet. And as the war lasts 7 years, there will be no more natural resources. There'll be very, very little for us to eat or drink. In which case, in the next 30 to 40 years after the war, roughly 7 billion people will die of starvation, disease, malnutrition. Babies, infants, old men, old ladies, people like us, you will die. And I don't mean death because it doesn't exist, but this body will, be done. And that will be then after those remaining, when I talked about the golden age, after that 40 years, 30, 40 years, they will be beings of such high vibration that they will usher in the golden age of Earth, the egalitarian society, right? So we need to change, like right now. Well, we needed to change 2 millennia ago when Jesus came, right? But, we really thoroughly needed to change 3 decades ago because we're out of time. It's coming. Whether you want to believe in it or not, it's coming. But the first step in writing it was Trump winning the election. No matter how bad the United States, some of us didn't want him or whatever, it was needed. But right now we need to love one another. I love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. I've never met you. I've never seen you before in my life, and I love you like my own children. We need that love in the world. We need it. We need to forgive. For we're all one. We are all, as Jesus stated in the Bible, we're little gods. We are all part of our Father, thus making us our Father. That's the illusion. It's a dream. Wake up and realize who you are. You are a powerful, multidimensional being, living multiple lives across multiple different dimensions right now. It's called duality. You are everywhere. You are everything the universe has ever been and will ever be is you. You are a powerful being. We need to love one another. So anything ain't comes to anymore. Pardon me? So anything will become the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. There will be no the end of the world. No, but what will be removed is most of us will be gone. And those, like I said, those that are left over that had survived will be the youth, right? Those that were born during that time that haven't been indoctrinated by the church and filled with their filth, their lies, their deception, their manipulation. They won't be born into a society that keeps its people living in poverty, fear, right? They won't have any of that. They will have nothing but love. That's all they'll know. They'll be such high vibrational beings that they will bring in when the devastation is over and there's only 1 billion people left over, not just one city or one country. I'm talking about the whole globe, right? 1 billion people isn't very many, scattered around this whole world. It's going to be very, very sparse, but they're going to come together. They're going to start a small community, right? And they're going to rebuild using what's left over after we're all gone. Technology. They're going to have it at their fingertips. Advanced technology. What advanced technology am I talking about? AI. AI is going to launch us into places we have never seen before, and they will use it with ruthless efficiency. And they will rebuild on the new Earth. Global peace. The golden age of Earth. We are not allowed to be there. Not in this form right now. Those that have ascended like I did when I went through that ascension process last year at this time, I know I'm there. Others who refuse to listen and refuse to buy into what I'm teaching and what other NDEs are talking, they will remain. They will transition here, they'll go home, and then they will come back into another Earth-like planet that Father decides. But it will be the same thing. The same materialistic world, the same haves and have-nots, the same brutality, until they get it through their head that love is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that's real here. Love. So now, once everybody's gone from this Earth, the Earth will disappear. New Earth will be in another dimension with the rest of us. And then when we incarnate again, it will be beautiful. Beautiful. But I'm trying to stop what's coming. How am I trying to stop it? With love. I'm trying to tell you who you are, that we don't need to be this way. Just because I'm in a white body here in the United States doesn't mean that you're any different than me because you're Asian in the East. You're just as beautiful and as pure and as innocent as I am. And there's no need to be anything but love. Because that is all we are. We are created from our Father out of love. A love that none of you know what I'm speaking about. Not allowed to know everything. I just know that that was a major piece that had to take place. But I think I know we're on the right pace, but we've got to stop the wars. We've got to stop killing one another. We've got to stop hurting one another. We have to love one another. And we have to realize that we're all one. And when I hurt you, I'm hurting myself. That's what people don't understand. So if I were to get really nasty with you and say, I'm just using this as an example, by no means take it to be true, okay, hon? So if I got in and I didn't know who you were and I found, fucking Angie, you lot of fucking filthy, nasty people. Get out of my sight. That is the stuff that we've got to stop. I am you. You are me. I love you. I love my neighbors. I love the people in Japan. I love the people in Russia. I love the people in China. I love the people in Great Britain, England, France, Germany, Mongolia. Those people are me. I'm just projecting them out onto the world as them. But it's still me. I'm just projecting you that way. That's it. And it's a beautiful thing, when you can see the truth, when you know the truth of who we are, of what we are, and what we're doing here. It's a voyage of rediscovery. Believe it or not, we are living in the most beautiful love story ever created. We've just forgotten who we are. And I'm here to wake you guys all up and say, look, realize who you are. Love yourself like you love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why? Because that neighbor is you. When you walk out of your home and you walk down the street and you see that person come out of your house, that is you. Love them. As Jesus said, love your neighbor. He just didn't get into the depths of it as why? Because that is you. So as far as that election goes, just Trump needed to win. And as you saw, and I'm sure you've heard, there has been no wars, there has been no uprising, there has been no killings. It's been a very smooth transition because it was meant to be. Now we just have to keep that up. We just have to love one another. And, as I become more and more globally entwined, I'm going to be traveling the world. I'm going to be traveling to Vietnam, to Asia, to China, to these places so I can talk to you guys in person, in public, have these discussions. And I'm just looking forward to that day because it's coming, So, they're all beautiful. I love you. It's weird to even hear myself say that sometimes. It's so weird, because I never would have said that in my entire life, ever, And again, I'm filled with a love that's just not here. Because somebody asked me the other day, who do you love? Who do you love the most? And I said, me. I come first. I love myself more than anything. I've accepted my quirks. I love who I am. I was shown who I am. I was shown how much my father loved me when he held me. I know how fiercely loved I am, how fiercely protected I am from the non-physical, as you are, as everybody is here. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, they can connect with me if you're watching this. I do have a website. It's called lovinglightjason.com. You can go there and there's a way for them to contact me. They can see my services and so on and so forth. And then my YouTube channel is Loving Light Jason. So you can watch all of my videos. I go live like every other week. I post videos once a week. There's a great way for, your viewers to, follow me or connect with me. Those would be the two places.